It had been 3 years since my crew and I robbed Magnolia Mall, and I still hadn't forgiven myself for the trouble I caused my friends. Out of everyone involved, Dizzy took the biggest hit. He sacrificed himself to save us all, but especially me. I couldn't forget what he said to me that day.
Remember, you my Juliet, Rob. I would never do nothing to betray you. No matter what nobody say, I got your back forever.
Maybe that was the problem. Juliet was Romeo's kryptonite just like I was Dizzy's, and vice versa. That's why our story ended in tragedy just like theirs. We pulled off that job perfectly, but I just had to let my addiction to stealing cause trouble for us. All I had to do was take one look at that delivery truck, and he was ready to help me satisfy my hunger. Part of me was thrilled that he wanted to do my bidding, but part of me knew that it was a bad idea. However, once he said those magic words, I accepted my fate as the poison he'd willingly drink no matter what.
I got it.
He said those words to me more often than not, and each time my ego grew bigger and my heart grew fuller. I spent a large part of our friendship denying any romantic feelings. We were just kids. We were too young to know what love or romance was. Plus, I didn't believe he saw me in that way. Then why would he make that sacrifice for me? If that weren't bad enough, he'd written me every week since he was sent to DJJ, and I hadn't sent one letter back to him. I know I should be ashamed of myself, but the words always left my mind when I tried to write back. I hated myself for it, because I knew what it felt like to be abandoned by someone who owed you loyalty and love. I had done something I condemned my egg donor for ever since I learned I wasn't my adoptive mother's biological daughter. Yet the letters never stopped coming.
You will always be my Juliet, Rob.
A few years ago, if someone had mentioned love when talking about my relationship with Dizzy, I would have denied it. However, that sacrifice that Dizzy made for me that day of the robbery made me see him in a new light. Was Dizzy and I in love with each other? Or were the two of us just drawn to each other because of our love was forbidden due to our family's feud? If the latter were true, then maybe staying away from him was the best decision I made since meeting him. If by fate we were destined for suffering like Romeo and Juliet, then I was as deadly to Dizzy as the poison Romeo drank to be by Juliet's side, even in death.